Turn around when it is safe to do so.
It's always safe to turn around. So today, I'm gonna see if I can find a way to do some night photos. I haven't messed with the day-night cycle. And when I did my overview, I didn't see any day, night, or time settings in the photo mode, but that might be incorrect. So right now, I'm looking for buildings because that's where I expect lights to be, and that's where I want to see nighttime photos. Maybe the beaches as well. Could also just hit this one up real quick. I think this is a nice small area. We got some events over here, so let's just head that way. I stuck with silver paint. I did check it out. I'm not sure if we want to change that once we get to the city, but I think silver might be the most reflective for night stuff. I looked at black, and I'm worried that will blend in too much. Same with dark blue. Here we are.
100 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
Yeah, I don't see a way to change the time. I was hoping there would be a way to like wait or like at least check the time. So I guess instead we're just gonna do a couple events and see if day goes tonight. Get out the way, I'm the main character. This car was not meant for this road.
Turn left.
Okay, it took about 15 minutes. It looks like it's getting to nighttime. I can't tell. Okay, so it took about 20 minutes to get to nighttime. So let's get back to the photo mode stuff. Head to the city. I'm not sure if the night-day cycle is across, if it's persistent or not. Get out of the way, fence.
Turn right.
Get out of the way, airplane. Okay, so it's nighttime. We're gonna do some photo mode at night and mess around with some of the blur settings and stuff. I found the city. It took 20-25 minutes for it to turn to night. I didn't see a slider for that, which is unfortunate. A lot of the games will let you change daytime or nighttime or just the general time of day. We have lights on the car, obviously, we can use, but it would be nice if we could get some good reflections from the street lights or something. I just don't see a whole lot of colorful lights, which is what I was hoping for with the silver car. Oh no, we're already losing it. So, we're already losing nighttime. We can do something like that, but I think we want tracking mode. No, I just wanted to go back so I could change the camera. The UI is a bit weird. The features of photo mode are quite good, but the UI has been weird. That's sort of interesting to have the post there. Sort of like that. It's not quite bright enough. Actually, we could desaturate this. I do want to have some blur on the background. Okay, there we go. That's in focus. I want to slow the shutter speed down just a little bit. I just want the post to be a bit more visible than it is. It's so blurred right now you can't even see it. You can't really even see the light. I like having a little bit of color, although the desaturation is nice. We could maybe have the color and then pull the temperature down to get that cool night feel a bit. Yeah, there isn't quite enough light from the street lamp. This is okay. The whole car is not in frame there. I want to keep the whole light post in frame. It's okay, not great. The light above is just not that bright and not that colorful. If we'd had a red car, I think this would have been much better. So maybe that's what we'll do next time. So the thing I was thinking with bringing the silver car is it would be more reflective. If there were like lots of colorful lights in the city that would reflect off the car, that would be pretty cool. However, it looks like that isn't the case. There aren't that many colorful lights. So we might want a colorful car to add a little bit of pop to the photo. And that's sort of what we're missing. Maybe we turn off the lights as well, because those look okay. But with the anti-aliasing, they're actually not that great. Does the quality improve the lights? It seems like the quality just improves the blur. But yeah, it definitely looks sort of pixely. Does this look okay panning? We could do that and then have like desaturated. That sign doesn't look great, does it? It's not super detailed. That's another thing to keep in mind. The cars are super detailed, but the environment is not as detailed in all areas. So keep that in mind. So let's do that and turn the headlights off again. Because all the other lights are just not that bright and not that solid. They have a bit more haziness to them. And that looks like someone just painted something on. So I sort of want to remove that for now. We'll have to figure out a way, maybe, we can make that work. But I think this is pretty, no, do not exit photo mode. I think this is pretty reasonable. And I do like, I think, a little bit more color. Just not enough texture to make the black and white work, I think. Although, yeah, that or that. Does the color really add anything? It adds the yellow line. So we should probably see if we can get closer and align that with like the thirds line if we can. There's a balloon in the top left I'd rather not have there. And I don't like that telephone pole in back, but I don't think we can do anything about that. So yeah, not a huge fan of this photo, but, and you can still see the yellow line there. It's just not as distracting. So I think I like this a little bit better now that I've gone back and forth a couple times. So cool. And one last thing to check is the lights again. I don't like the lights that the lights are in the center of the screen, because I feel like they're so bright, they just draw you immediately to them. But the motion of the screen is from left to right. So we really want the focus to be a little more left if we can, and not directly at the front of the car. So we can take the car lights off or leave them on and see if we can pull the exposure up to match the lights. And then typically with black and white, we want some more contrast. A bit too much. We should be able to see the brake calipers, I think. Still think the lights are a bit much, so we're gonna turn those off. I think we want it top left. It's the darkest and also sort of the focus. Yeah, so next time I think we'll bring a colored car, since there isn't as much in terms of colored lighting here. That was sort of the mistake I made, I think. We'll have to do that. We'll also have to look for a bit stronger lighting. Not necessarily stronger lighting, but more dramatic. You can sort of see the lighting on the ground with the blur, but it's not quite strong enough with the blur to actually show up. And it's daytime, so nighttime only lasted like 10 minutes. I've been recording for 16 minutes. So yeah, that's going to make nighttime shooting a bit difficult. We'll see how long the day lasts here. Oh, everyone has been listening to me the entire time. Good. Do the shadows move? They do. The sun is going down, look at that. It seems like maybe it's like an hour day. See, this is a big light, like we could use this. There's a slight delay from the button press to the actual pausing. So that's a person. That would be interesting. Something like this is interesting. Yeah, again, not a huge fan of the headlights. So we've got a box and a thing to work on over there. I think maybe this would be a good panning mode. We do want to turn the shutter speed way down. Don't want my character to be in focus all that much. But I like having the woman up there looking down at us. I think that's neat. Got to keep the whole car in the frame. Try to set her off to the side a bit with the lamp. And then I think I have to turn the headlights off again because it's just so distracting, which is unfortunate. I did want to leave the headlights on initially. Aperture, I don't think we want, because we want the person in the background to be looking. Bringing the temperature down helps with the blue and the greens in the backgrounds. That's why I'm doing that. I really think exposure can come down, so we only get the lit up stuff. Something like this. I want to cut this drain out and sort of pull out a bit so that the car is not the main focus as much. Well, we either need the drain all the way in or all the way out. It's one or the other. So we could do that. We have like the bottom thirds covered by the car, sort of a minimalist thing. And then we have this in the half. I like that a bit better because the buildings sort of naturally divide it. We want the car to fit in frame, but we also want to be sort of dead center with this building. So, because the car is not directly in center, which is the problem. I'm just playing around with different pictures because I think like a composition with this as the main building can work. I think that's a thing, right? Like that's a pretty cool storefront. It's a pretty cool scene, but not with the car where it is, which is not aligned. Oh, we can zoom less than one, and it even gets like a wide angle effect. That's sort of neat. I think something like that. And then we pull up the speed to just make it look a bit faster. Pull down the color because I don't think it's quite as needed here. Exposure, I did like it darker. Something like that. I'm sort of checking thirds lines and making sure they line up with things a bit. You know, the light isn't bright enough to be off center too much and still draw attention, so I think we have to have it sort of in the center by the car, and I think that does this. And then we probably want maybe even more vignette, just because so much of the action is in the center. Can't even really tell there's a vignette just because the edges are already so dark, so that's okay. But I sort of like it. Don't forget, before we do this, to switch to quality sampling. We'll hide the UI, let it sample, and take the print screen first. Cool, so let's see then if, when we leave, it's still nighttime, because we've been doing this for a while. Yeah, nighttime is super short. Yeah, so it's like an hour, maybe more, between day and night. Or it's about like an hour of day, maybe even a bit more. I've been playing, I think, for 2-ish hours. And we've seen 2 nights, and the first one was pretty early on. So it might be like an hour to an hour and a half for a day cycle. And then night is like 10 or 15 minutes. So night shots are going to be a bit harder to get. That's a bit weird. I sort of understand it. I do get annoyed sometimes in games when the night happens so often and it's just like I can't see anything. Please stop making it night. I want to be able to see things. But it does make it harder for taking night photos, you know? So not necessarily a bad thing with the game, but something to keep in mind. And that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed taking a peek at photo mode again and playing around with night mode. I'm not super happy with any of the photos we got today, but it was the first time trying to take a photo at night. So we learned some good things like what to do with car colors and how the lighting works and all that sort of fun stuff. So I think it was good. Hope you have a good day.